starting point for the children's labs and workshops that we've been doing is, what one thing would you like to change in the world? And what do you think the children's answers are? Do you think they ask for more toys or less school? In fact, they don't at all. This is a typical example. A child, 10 years old, she invented a robot to clean up plastic in the city so that the fish in the sea wouldn't eat the plastic and die from it. And that's actually the kind of things that children are asking for and coming up with. So the problems they identify and their solutions, for example, a 3D food printer to tackle world hunger, a car which drives on electricity to reduce CO2, but also with a mechanism for the wheels to generate the electricity as it went along, and a pen that writes for children with dyslexia. And of course, these are quite speculative designs. They also get to make them once they've come up with something. I'm not sure how to make this video play. Maybe Jos can help. So we use things like motors and LED lights and recycled materials in combination. So why does this matter? Well, there's 2 billion children of school-going age around the world, and they're growing up in a future that's rapidly changing, increasingly technological and complex. And how can we help them to become designers of a better future? So that's the question that we put to ourselves, and you might say, isn't that what education is for? That's a fair question. So yes, as Martin was just saying, what is education for? So looking to Kurt Biesta, he's a Dutch education philosopher, he says it's for 3 things: to get children ready to be self-sustainable for their future, to inculcate the values of society into the child, and then to prepare the child to contribute to their future society. So that's like after we're gone. So that begs the question, of course, what's the future society going to look like? And the answer is, we don't know, but we do know what's changing already. So if you look at information, for example, there's like the equivalent of 4 billion books in content on knowledge available. So now, what does a child need to be able to do? They need to be able to search cleverly, smartly, and to synthesize a lot of information. And if we look at other technological changes that are coming, as much as our lifestyles have changed so radically in the last 10 or 15 years, it's actually going to increase in the rate of change. We can identify these 4 areas where you've got like robotics, you've got nanotechnology, making the robots super small, you've got genetics, your DNA reading, so your nano robot is going to play with your DNA, and information technology to hopefully tell us what's going on. So yeah, how are we preparing children for this? So luckily, I'm not the only one thinking about this, of course. There's some really interesting books coming out, like from Marty Neumeyer on the 5 meta skills for the robotic age. Tony Wagner, he's a favorite of mine. He's a teacher, a principal, an educator, a book writer, so he really has the experience. And Invent to Learn, maybe familiar to some of you. And in fact, this is not new. If we look back to the 15th century, we see that Leonardo da Vinci espoused these values, these 21st century learning skills, often called creativity, communication skills, critical thinking, and collaboration, and top-notch curiosity, which Matteo kicked us off with. Feverishly inventive imagination was what he had, and that's what we also aspire to. So taking these values into, say, the current age, this is what Unexpect has as a 7 spear points, 7 lifelong and resilience competencies. So to discover one's purpose and values, and that's really something that's not in the education system at all, But at the end of the day, that's what's driving us. And a lot of us get to like 35 and go, sugar, I want to have meaning in my life. Throw everything overboard, start a new career. But yeah, why wait? At 7, you also have some ideas about what you believe in. An ability to create and design. Modeling for complexity and sustainable life cycles. I think we all agree that the planet needs to be treated better. And there's so many systems out there that you need to be able to work with models and to understand the algorithms and the modeling that's working behind it. And you can actually teach that to children quite well using simulations in programs. To think critically, also what Matteo said in the beginning, to make things with new and old technologies. I really think it's kind of scandalous if we don't teach our children to deal with the technology that we're producing around them. Yeah, it just boggles my mind, to be honest, that we would allow children get to 18 years old and not have them become literate in programming technologies and sensors, and of course the media that we're talking about here. To cultivate their sense of wonder and curiosity, and to develop relationships and empathy across our intercultural, transdisciplinary future world. So, of course, we have to have a how. How are we going to teach these children all these things? We've come up with a methodology. We're still very much in beta. We'll probably remain in beta, continue testing, developing and improving. It's basically based on design thinking. So you have a theme or a question. Each of the icons stand for tools and output. You've got a research phase, then you've got an idea or a brainstorm phase. You've got a sketching of your design phase, then making and presenting at the end. And this is something you could do throughout the whole school year, combined with your geography, your computer science, your art, your reading and writing, or you can do it in a one-day session. And again, this is not new. We've had a number of fantastic education philosophers already from the previous century espousing that we needed to change education, we need to make it more learning by doing, making, child-led, and these are some of the names that we learn from. So what does it look like on a day process, what we're doing with children? We start with an inspiration theme. We work with questions like, how could you improve your city? How could you improve your neighborhood? How could you improve the well-being of your parents? Great fun answers to that, of course. We look at inspiration from technologies and other solutions. Children generally know everything about a 3D printer, but most of them haven't used it, for example, but they love to talk about it. We also look at the ethical aspects of being an inventor and where does the responsibility lie. Then we map the questions, like which groups of people are affected and how are they affected. And it's very much working from the knowledge base the child has. So building on that. And then we have idea time. Children usually have kind of an immediate answer to what they would like to make. So that goes quite quickly. And then we sketch out what they want to make, because sometimes they think, I'm going to make a robot and it's going to have wings and it's going to clear up all the plastic in the ocean, it's going to drive all the cars and turn on the lights in the evening and read me a story at the end, you know, that kind of thing. So then we get them to sketch it and what are the features and how does it work and is that a motor and where's the energy going in, and then they have to think that through that bit better. And the prototyping phase is where they get to build stuff, make stuff, find out how it might work, and it's kind of a speculative model incorporating how you could make a number of things work, like circuits, and then presenting at the end, of course, to celebrate what you've made. I think I was billed as coding. That's part of what we do, but it's very much idea-based. So a child has an imagination, an idea, concept they want to realize, and the coding is supporting reaching that goal. And we do it very step to step. So start with like a real, just a button battery and an LED, then take it onto a breadboard to do a simple electronic circuit, then introduce the Arduino, whereby you can program what happens on your breadboard. You can start with the given programs, learn to hack them, and then start to write your own. So building it up step by step. And these are some of the things the children make. Let's check the time. These are some of the kind of tools that we have in our toolkit, because as much as we're doing it ourselves so far in school and after school programs, trying to find an entry system into the entry point into the education system, we're building a do-it-yourself toolkit so that teachers, parents, or community centres could run such a program themselves using our guidelines. It's also some basic, how to fix up a motor to a wheel and aandrijvingsmechanismen and that sort of thing, and sensors, the simple sensors that you can hook up and turn things on. Okay. I love this one as well. So yeah, as we were, and then I'll finish with this, and we can have some questions. Kind of inspired by Seymour Papert, who I'm sure lots of you know. He wrote the Logo programming language. He's like a big inspiration for new forms of learning with technology in the classroom and technology as a creation tool. So not learn how to do file save, but what could you make with these tools? And he said that the reason that we haven't changed the education system so far is because we don't have enough vision of where we're going towards. So our contribution to that vision creation is to run the Global Children's Designathon next month in November in 5 cities around the world. They're listed there, the 5 cities. We'll have children in each place in parallel working on the same themes of food, mobility, and energy and the environment, going through that same day process that I just explained, and we'll document in detail how it works for them and what they come up with. We just want to share, like, hey, this is what education could look like. You could do this too. Children can make stuff. Look at the ideas they have. And hopefully inspire a lot of other people to take this forward and into the classroom. And these are some of the people we're working with in each of the cities. That's coming up next. So yeah, this will be my last slide. What if we could teach the next generation to design a better world? Thank you.